podcast. Yes, season 5. And we got an awesome guest today. But before that, I want to thank the Los Angeles Tribune for giving me the opportunity to be on a platform. They signed me last year to be on a podcasting. Thank you to Riverside for just letting me use your platform. And thank you to all my sponsors. But today, motivators, we bring another motivator. And I told you, I'm only inspired by the people that I bring on this table right here. We're going to have an honest conversation. We're going to tap in, make sure we understand what we're doing, get your highlighters and get your pens ready. Let's welcome Dr. Teresa Hernandez. What's up, Mama? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a
Yeah,
blessing to be here.
definitely. I've been trying to get you on for a while, and I know that you've been traveling abroad, and I've been traveling, and God said it'd be time, and now it's time. So I appreciate you for just taking the time to grace my platform. How are you today?
I'm blessed. Today was such a beautiful day. Actually, you caught me at a really great time where I feel so amazing. I just had a empowerment session on mental well-being and empowerment with some girls here in Tampa. So just coming off of a high from today. So perfect day.
Yep. Today. Well, let's get into this conversation. Let's tell the world, first of all, who you are and where you come from.
Of course, yeah. So I'm Dr. Teresa. I live here in Tampa, Florida. I come from Belize, Central America, and I'm a global youth empowerment and development coach. I am an author, I am a motivational speaker, and a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Super excited to be here today.
Look at that. I love that. See what she's saying? She flexing on me, guys. She flexing. I love it. I love it. And honestly, I look up to all that. So I remember when I met you a couple of years ago, and I think you saw me speak, and you approached me, and we talked, and then I found out who you really were, and I was like, wow, she's doing her own thing too, and I would love to be on these tours with you. And look at the timing now. So I appreciate you again.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about how you were growing up as a little girl.
Wow, beautiful story. For me, it is actually growing up in Central America in Belize. My parents are both from Central America, and that's where I grew up. It was just a lovely childhood. I don't regret it at all. It wasn't the best of having friends and, enjoying the weekends. My weekends were pretty much just showing what true leadership and survival looked like, going to our farm, bringing back crops and just being able to supply our families and our friends and our neighbors, and just growing up knowing that you can have anything that your heart desires. Like you'll never be without, you'll never lack, and just having that abundance. And so on the weekends, my childhood was just pretty much with my siblings going to the farm, coming back and being able to either one, sell some of the produce that we would bring back. And I remember just having my first like making my first dollar. I was like, okay, I want to be my own boss one day. This is what it's like. It's like being your own, boss at that early age, learning about, those essential life skills of how to survive. Right. And so I don't regret any of that. And I think that's what made me the true entrepreneur that I am today. Just being able to take those life skills and those lessons from growing up in a country where you really don't have much, right?
Mhm.
And the women that were in my life at the time, they were true entrepreneurs. Like they were like the main people who would support their families in our town. And I looked up to them. Some of them were bakers, some of them were seamstress. They were just entrepreneurs. And like I said, that's how I'm a true entrepreneur today.
I love that, and I love the fact that you broke it down. And motivators, get your highlighters and pens ready. She's talking. She's making you guys understand where she came from. A lot of people talk this coach motivational stuff, and they just got started. This been in her life since she got started with her life, and it's been innately implanted in her. And I tell people all the time, I said, yeah, it's popular now to be a coach and a speaker and all that stuff, but I said this is my birthright. My father's a bishop. My both my grandfathers are ministers. I couldn't run from this if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I see what you got going on. Tell me how you was as a young woman growing up in high school.
Yeah. So, I always knew that I wanted to be in business, right? I knew that one day I wanted to, again, start my own business, be a boss, make my own money. And I took up business classes in high school, actually. I was really set on my goals. And so I made sure that I would speak with my counselor once a week. I had a vision, I had a dream of one day being an entrepreneur, a business owner. And so business was my thing. I went to school for business. I went to high school, and then I went into college. I continued my business education, and with some concentration in entrepreneurship again, just to learn the business aspects of running a business, right? Those key things that you need as a business owner and as a entrepreneur. And so that was really my journey. It was just really focused on one thing, and knowing that one day I can also teach others how to be a business owner or how to start their own business from the ground up.
I love that. So, a lot of us we talk about business a lot, but we wasn't shown that. We was shown how to hustle and how to get it, but not how to make.
Hmm.
And when I went bankrupt, I went back and got my master's because we need to understand the language of business and how it sounds. And a lot of us in minorities, we don't understand business at all. We know how to get it, but we don't know how to sustain it. And even entrepreneurship, and the word where that generates from and everything like that. So that's really big on what you did. I love that. Can you break that down a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. And, like I said, I mean, to your point, you're absolutely right. At times it's some people, it's that hustle, right? But it's also about having that go for it attitude. And like I said, like I knew what I wanted in life. I mean, as a young girl, as a girl of color, just growing up and seeing how sometimes it can be a little bit challenging, and how those opportunities sometimes won't come your way unless you go after it. So I've always had that go for it attitude, in everything that I was doing. And I just kept going. I like I said, I had some really good people in my life that really pushed me and reminded me to keep the momentum going, or just reminded me of who I am, and that everything, and anything that you set your heart out to do, I mean, of course, with God by your side, it'll be done,
Yeah,
right? And so I've always had that mentality to not worry about the naysayers, and not worry about when someone tells you that you can't. And so it was always that go for it attitude that kept me going.
I love that. Yeah, that go for it attitude and motivators. You understand how she's breaking it down. Like I tell you guys all the time, like make sure that they could be the strongest, they could be the smartest, they could be the tallest, they could be the prettiest, they could be whatever. Long as you stay the longest, be consistent, and that's what I think. That's what you're articulating is what that go getters mentality. Like stay with it. I tell people all the time. I never saw anybody that looked like myself that was educated and remained the same. But I stayed when the lights was off. I'm not the smartest, but I stayed when the lights was off, and I made sure I understood. So when I went back to who I am, what I'm saying, I wanted to show the world that hey, this is what it looks like of where I come from. So I love that. What I'm saying. Let's get into your education.
Yeah, of course. So I have a master's degree in business and entrepreneurship. Of course, we talk about that leadership and that entrepreneurship and wanting to run a business. And just from day one, I stayed in the business courses. My bachelor's is also, I have a BA in business as well. So that's really just something that I've always wanted to do. And then I also have a doctorate in humanitarianism. So I'm just, it ties into the work that I'm doing now with the girls and what I'm doing globally, which I'm sure we'll get into at some point during this conversation. But it's really about just staying on course and, again, just putting my mind to what I really wanted to accomplish in my life, and also being able to be that role model for my children. I have a daughter and a son that are, teenagers now. I mean, on their way to being adults pretty soon, right? And so just being able to show them, like, hey, these are things that are possible, and never giving up on yourself. And so it's just been rewarding.
I love that. You got teenager kids. I have two teenager kids too, and my son is getting ready. You see him when he comes with me. He's getting ready to go to the military, and I just continue to pour into them, and that they're the future. What I'm saying? They see exactly what Mama went through. They see the struggles that she went through. They know firsthand that. I mean, people might see you now as, oh, look at lucky her. No, it's not luck. I worked my butt off to get here. What I'm saying? But
Yeah.
while raising your children. What I'm saying? So that's good.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of times too, people don't oftentimes know what happens or what's going on behind the scenes. but it's having that faith and really staying strong. You could be going through the mud, which I have. I've been through depression. I've been through so many different things. Life doesn't always look too pretty. Of course, as a motivational speaker and somebody who's uplifting and empowering girls around the world, you definitely want to motivate and show all the positive things to keep their spirits lifted and to keep them going. But oftentimes no one really gets to see the behind the scenes, that comes with your faith and your prayer to really pull you out of the things that you go through when no one else is there watching. So it's not always easy, right? But the journey sometimes has its ups and downs. And that's just the way life is. And I'm a strong believer of your story will get you to your glory. And my story has definitely gotten me to my glory.
I like that. I'm about to use that. I'm about to steal that from you. Your story and get to you, but I will reference you. I'm in my doctorate. I'm gonna make sure. Hey, where's Dr. Teresa? I'm citing her right now. Clock it. Yeah, for real. But I love that your story will get you to your glory, and that's definitely the journey I have been on. And um, let's talk about that journey. When you started to move towards your purpose, did it get harder for you to maintain relationships and friendships and things like that? What did a lot of people like they didn't understand and did they walk away?
I would definitely say that would be a 50-50 because there's been people that have been around. And the good thing about the people that have been around are the people who really understand your vision and your mission, right? These are
Mhm.
people who align with you. There's that synergy. So if you have people that have that same synergy and they believe in your mission and your vision and the goals that you have for yourself and they can see it for you, then those are the people who tend to always hang around, right?
Mhm.
And they're there for the longevity because they want to see you win. And then there's others who may not believe in what you're doing or may not or may have doubts or those naysayers, and then you tend to find out along the way. I mean, it's upsetting, but somewhere down the line, then you kind of can pinpoint, and it's that discernment that you have that God gives you. For me, of course, to understand that discernment and to see like, well, there's a shift in people's way of their behavior. Like you can tell when someone shifts from the way they used to be in the beginning of your journey. And so it's and that's when you have to let go. You're not doing it because you're just like on a high and you're like, hey, you got to go, but you're doing it because you have that discernment that you have to go by. And when you can see that shift, it's not conducive to your purpose anymore, or it's not conducive to your growth, then you got to cut ties. And it's not personal. It's just in order for you to grow, you have to be able to discern certain things and people, right? And so that's just how it's been. And I think that happens to many of us. Somewhere down the line, we realize that these people were here for a season, and I'm a strong believer that God will remove people from out of your life, and He will also place people in your life for certain seasons as well. And so the ones that are around, I don't take them for granted. I'm always about wanting others to win. I've supported and helped so many others, to see their goals and to help them, reach their goals as well, because I want everybody to win. But sometimes it does become a little challenging to keep everybody around.
Yes, it does. And I tell the people all the time. I said, don't be scared to lose these people. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us that are in that industry, I would speak on myself. I have a big heart, so I want to help and I want to give, but also I'm very protective over my birthright and what I do, and I don't like people that want to come in and see they see the good side of it, but don't see the how hard I work to get to where I'm at.
Right.
And I call it. I said people want the likes and they want the followers, but they don't know they don't want the impact, right? And I don't care if one person likes my stuff. I just want to impact the room. But certain people want this. They want the bright lights, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you never been around no situation like that. But I went through a shift after I became a motivational speaker to remove people that was stunting my growth because their purpose and my purpose was different. And I
Hmm.
know where God was leading me, and they was trying to take me down a different path. And I know that I didn't want to go that way. So I ended up, you know, pivoting, and I have a book out called The Power of the Pivot, and it talks about understanding the pivot and knowing when to pivot the right way. And I'm definitely trending now on my purpose and what God has for me, because I love the journey I'm on, and it feels better. It feels good for me to wake up. And I used to go to the studio and podcast. Now I do it from my own home, and I was
Nice.
afraid to even show that because I'm very discreet. But the people who signed me, Los Angeles Tribune, was like, "Hey, give me 4 seasons from behind your desk." I said, "I'm gonna do you better. I'm gonna give you 100 episodes, have 100 different stories, and how people are impacting my life." So it gave me another purpose. And then I put out 9 books in the last um, 4 months, and I'm happy because I was paying people to do certain jobs for me that I could have did it myself, but I didn't understand. I didn't know. I didn't take the time to learn. But I'm not mad because I paid to learn the situation. Now I'm in control of my whole destiny of what I want to. If I want to put out anything that's been on my mind, I know how to do it now, and I know who to contact and where to go and how to lead. So I'm happy of that journey. So.
I
And I
love
see
it.
you. I see you definitely moving and grooving out there in Tampa. And I see, I support you, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Let's get into the movement and the work that you're doing in the community and globally.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my why actually comes from just being in these corporate positions. I told you that I studied business, just wanting to learn how to be a business owner and just having that business acumen. And so, after my education, after college, I started these corporate jobs as a leader in the building, as a manager, right? Just to kind of get that idea of how to run a business, to be in it, to be in the action of hiring people, how to deliver sales, how to customer acquisition, all of that stuff that comes under running a business. Was my goal of getting into these companies and these organizations. And so I did that for several years as a leader for these companies. And oftentimes I would go to conferences. Management gets to go to these conferences and spend like a week learning different tools and having them teach us all these other additional resources that to use to be more successful in the business. And I would never see that many people that would look like me, not even a handful. And this was a huge industry, and I'll be very transparent. It was the beauty industry, right? So I would never see people that would look like me, not even a handful, and it would be a room of about 300 of us. And and I kept asking questions like, what does hiring looks like? Why are there not that many women of color in these positions and these higher roles, or even for me being in an executive role, even going higher. And so I became very curious. And so I became one of the lead philanthropists. I took the lead on the philanthropy for the ERG of the company. So it's an employee relationships group. And I wanted to kind of understand like what's going on behind the scenes in these companies, in regards to hiring. What does bias, in the workplace look like? And so I wanted to kind of get a feel for that. And so I joined that organization's ERG for the philanthropy, just to kind of get an idea of, again, their whole structure, what that looks like, how they help in the community, what are they doing in other communities. And so while I was in that role, there was not that much stuff done. I remember with the whole George Floyd, there was all these changes that they were going to implement. And it was a lot of talk at that time, we're going to uplift our Blacks, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And, and there was nothing really happening. There was a lot of talk, but no actions. And so, I took a leap of faith. I prayed, of course, and I'm now on a kingdom assignment. I'm now actually on this global movement where I travel and I empower young girls that look like me, that are going to now become, they're coming up after me, just teaching them their worth, right? Reminding them that if you hear a no or doors don't open for you, how to create your own opportunities, teaching them leadership skills and how to have that confidence to step up and to speak up. And some of the things that I faced in my career, I'm in these corporate organizations, I'm now showing them like what to do, how to overcome, how to break barriers. And it's just been rewarding. It's a kingdom assignment that God has put in me. I think it's my purpose. And it's just been phenomenal. And my goal is really to impact 1 million girls of color. And in order to do that, of course, you have to get out there in the world. And, remember my prayer was just, God, I want to make a global impact and I want to be able to expand my sphere of influence. And I used a specific word, global. It was a specific prayer. And I've just been doing things on a global scale ever since.
I love it. I see what you're doing. And like I said, I'm proud of you. And when I first met you, I saw what you was doing. I said, man, I need to be out there with you in Africa, everywhere you go. Because I leave to London next week, but I'm global too. But I saw that I was like, you know what? If we team up together and she get the girls, I get the young men, and we can kick it off like that. And I told you I would just come for free, and just to come give my outlook on it, because I think a lot of us in this space, we don't help each other enough, because a lot of us still have that mentality, not saying you, but mentality where it's crabs in them, and it shouldn't. It's an $8 billion industry. Everybody has their lane. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I can caveat with you, but you told me, you was like, hey, when I get it all figured out, I'm gonna get you. I'm like, I'm ready. Just let me know. You know, yeah. I got my
For
passport.
sure. I've already been planning the 2026 tour. So, we'll definitely collaborate on that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. I see you all over, man. I'll be like, go, go, go. I celebrate you. Tell me what you
Yeah,
got.
there's room for to your point, there's room for all of us, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter what we're doing, and there's space for everyone. And if there's something that you want to do, but someone else is doing it, the only difference, that I always talk about between you and them is perhaps they might have gotten there first, but that don't mean that, it's not something that you can't pursue, still go for that exact goal that you always had, despite who else is doing it, and it's there's a market for everyone. There's customers, there's clients, there's opportunities in the entire world. The world is huge for us to do incredible things,
Yes.
for all of us to do incredible things. So there's lots of space.
Yeah. First base. I love that. Can you tell me what you got going on in Tampa?
So like I said, today we had the girls here in Tampa is considered the Tampa chapter, right? So, every 3 months I bring them together. Our last session was in November when they were on their Thanksgiving break. And so before that was in August, which was their summer break. So it's every quarter, every 3 months, I bring them together for an empowerment session, leadership, mental well-being, just to kind of keep that momentum going. I'm a strong believer that, when you pour into these girls or to whoever you're pouring into, I mean, that's the easy part, right? Is to do the work. But the follow-up piece is where sometimes we drop the ball.
Right.
And so I don't like to wait a whole year to reconnect with them or to, get them back on. I like to keep the momentum going and keep them engaged. And so it's a every 3 month meeting, and where there's different speakers that are going to come and pour into them. And it's been growing. So that's the Tampa chapter. What else I have going on in Tampa? I'm actually going to be moderating a panel next week for the Tampa Bay Diaspora event that they're doing on not mental wealth, but
Right.
generational
Yeah.
wealth. We got that coming up. So there's a lot of things that are happening. I'm going to be speaking in March at another event. So, in addition to empowering the girls and the youths here in Tampa, I'm also, like I mentioned earlier, a speaker, and so in between the empowerment, I'm also speaking. So it's been great.
I see you, and I will say on my channel that I will see you on the 21st at the finance event for the Tampa. Shout out to the Tampa diaspora; they are doing phenomenal things. And if he hears
Yeah.
this, Reginald, I'm going to throw your name out there, brother. You are doing amazing things for the community. Keep it up. I know I was his one of his keynotes at his last event in November, and I
Mhm.
appreciate you, brother, because what he's doing is and he's a frat too, and he's just
Yes.
pulling the community together. You know what I'm saying? And 400 black professionals all over tap in with him, to come to his functions, and it's really big for the city of Tampa. And one thing he did tell me, he said, I love what you do, JR, and I see you all over the place. And I know you from Long Beach, but you need to call a place home so they can get behind you. And he made me a keynote of his event. So I appreciate you, Reginald,
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
And so
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely commended him on, just bringing us together and connecting and, having that synergy, and it's needed here in Tampa. And
yeah,
so you get, Black professionals together who can, share their wisdom and insights and knowledge and all that. It's just beautiful. And so kudos to him for sure.
definitely. And in your 3 months after this that you had tonight, I'm gonna put my hand in the cook. I wanna come and speak at your next 3 months.
Okay.
I would love to be one of the speakers to speak for them,
Absolutely. I
because
got you down.
I have I have daughters, so I know how to articulate in a room full of young women, because when they all come here, it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? My daughter, my 25-year-old is my manager, so
Okay, I love that.
yeah, so she
Boss.
yeah. If you go on my website, she put her face front and center. I'm like, baby, like, okay, I got it. You want to let people know I got you. Okay, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, I love our girl bosses.
yeah, I don't mind it too. I don't mind her and my other daughter bossing me around. I get it. You know what I'm saying? They already said it. They started off when they were babies, bossing me, and I let them do it. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. You know?
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Let's talk about motherhood.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
mean, it's a beautiful thing. You know, my kids, they were born in New York, in the Bronx. And it's so funny because we've been here in Florida, in Tampa since I would say 2012 or 2011, something like that. So they consider themselves Floridians, which is fine. I'm like, they don't consider themselves New Yorkers. I'm like, okay, no problem. You guys came when you guys were kind of young. It's fine. I'll take it. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, you're from New York. But no, it's a beautiful motherhood is a beautiful thing. And I have one of each, a boy and a girl. And
mm,
so, you're able, when you have that, you're able to kind of like, see the traits and the characteristics of a girl child, and the same thing of a boy, of a male child, right? And see how they differ. And but it's been great. It's been a really great journey. I think I want to give myself kudos to, and just the people that were around me, raising them, and them growing up. They grew up in a two-house family, a two-parent family. And so a lot of children these days don't have that. But I'm grateful for that they were able to see, what it's like to really, have that strong foundation.
right,
Um, so that's something that I've been always grateful for. And just again, the work that I'm doing and the things that they see, just leading by example and making sure that you raise them right, so that when they go into the world, that you don't have to worry about what's happening out there, and they're just doing the right thing. And of course, for them to always put God first. So that's always been my prayer for them, and they know that it's really about everything that you do in life, you got to put God first.
right.
My daughter's getting ready to, she's about to be 18 next week, and she's been in college. She started her first year of college at 17, so I'm super proud of her. She's doing her nursing program. And my son got his certification to do HVAC. So, here in Florida, you always need to have your air conditioner fixed. So they're just doing phenomenal things, and just to be able to guide them and be here as, I think also as a as a mentor, as a coach, as somebody who is always around to make sure that they're just leading, that they're on the right path. It's just been great.
I love that too, how you talked about motherhood and explained it. And you're doing all this as an entrepreneur, you're doing this all as a speaker, and they get to see it, the pedigree of what mom is doing, and understanding that, hey, there's no room right now for you guys for error. Mom put her foot in the mud and doing what she got to do. And y'all, hey, listen, whatever you want to do, I'm gonna support you. You gonna be great. But guess what? You're not gonna not do nothing. I told my kids, you're
Right.
not
You
gonna
gotta
not
do
do nothing.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, Imma help you type up that resume, Imma help you make these calls, Imma do all that stuff to make sure you right, and they and it's good because they were the last award that I received here in Tampa, the Tampa Bay Latin Chambers of Commerce, the kids were there to witness that, and, it's just a beautiful thing to have them in the room, when I'm being recognized so that they can really see the work and the recognition that comes along with it.
right.
You know, so they're just proud and I'm super proud of them too. They're my heartbeats.
I love that. I love that. Let's talk about your transition coming from, you said you was your associates and your bachelor's is business.
Mhm.
So let's talk about how that helps you with the humanitarian side, how you travel and how strategic you are in business about traveling and being a humanitarian and all that stuff. Because I will tell you before you start, I set myself a high goal, you know what I'm saying? And one of my highest goals is to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And by the time I'm 50, so I got 5 years. So that's what I want to do. But let's talk about that.
And you will get it because if you can see it, it will be.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. I'm coming for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, business was always my thing. I did business for several years, and it was again just having that mindset of wanting to be a business owner, and now being able to teach girls how to be a business owner when doors don't open for them, right? And so, I'm using that as an entrepreneur because I was able to now take the business piece of the education and my experience and put it all into a book. So the book is on entrepreneurship. It's on Amazon, and I use that book also as a blueprint to teach the youths
Yeah.
in Africa and here in the U.S. how to start a business from the ground up, how to network, how to seek investors, how
Yeah.
to build collaborative relationships with other entrepreneurs, and so it's really been helpful. It's me pouring into everything that I've learned in school and also my experiences, and so I've been using that everywhere I go, just as like I said, as a blueprint to help others. And in my humanitarian work, that's how the business fall into that because I'm now pouring into others, showing them that it can be done, right? Like you have a goal, you have a dream, God has given you a gift and a talent. Let me help you tap into that. Because a lot of people have gifts, their talents, and they just don't know what to do, where to begin, how to tap into that. But he's all given us these gifts. And he said our gifts will open doors for us and put us in front of great people.
Yeah.
And so when you remind them of that, it's like, okay, hey, help me tap into what that gift is. Help me tap into what that talent is, because now that becomes your purpose, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I've been able to use that business piece in the work that I'm doing around the world, just helping them understand business. And, even if they want to become a doctor later on, or they want to be an engineer or a pilot, whatever, I push that for them. I'm like, if that's your goals, that's great. But at the end of the day, no job is your job unless you have your own. And what that basically means is that even in retail or whatever, you go to work, you have these 9 to 5 jobs, and they say, hey, we got to let you go, or we're cutting hours, or, we're shutting down, or we no longer need you. When those kind of issues arise, you need to understand that, hey, you know what? Okay, fine. Let me fall back on what my gift and my talent is. I can now create something of my own, and at the end of the day, it's not only creating something of your own, but it's also leaving a legacy behind too. You're building something that belongs to you. And so it has your name on it, right? Because
Mhm.
I can go to my 9 to 5 job, my name's not on the building. They
Yeah.
can be like, hey, Teresa, it's time for you to go. Like we're shutting down or whatever. But the importance of what I'm doing is to teach them how to, when a door shuts down or doors don't open, how do I now create that opportunity for myself?
I love that, and that's the reason why. Like, I'm glad you're speaking on business because, like I said, when I went bankrupt, I went to get my master's. But then when I wanted to master the art of it, I continued in my doctorate in business, and I think that degree is about a 20-25 year. It just that degree is still new, a
Mhm.
doctorate in global business. And because I in my head I wanted to understand business more and be a subject matter expert, but also a global speaker, so I can understand how to strategically put my messages in a brand in these different countries and stuff like that. And I definitely see what you got going on. And I love what you said about your book. What's the title of your book?
So let me grab it for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, grab it for me. Yeah, definitely. And post it in the chat. Let the viewers know where they can find your book at, so I could ping it right here live. Put it in the chat so people can see that. Is it on Amazon?
Huh?
Is it on Amazon?
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna actually share the link with you on the Amazon link so that everyone can see it. But it's like I said, it's been a phenomenal journey of mine and my life, my heart. I poured everything into it. But I'm going to pull it up now. But it's really about unleashing your entrepreneurial success. That's the name of it, Unleashing Your Entrepreneurial Success and Building a Professional Network. So it's just been incredible. I did the book launch here in Tampa and back in 2024, I believe, is when I did it. And it was just an incredible experience. The people that came out, I had a phenomenal moderator that moderated the book launch, and it's just been helping people in Ghana, in Belize. Like it's just a really phenomenal blueprint that really helps when you don't know where to start. And again, it's not taking you away from going on your 9 to 5, but it's also giving you, ideas of, hey, this is how I can get started on something of my own.
Right.
So it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Tag it in the chat so we can get it, the link and all that.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
And you have the hard copy. You want to show the camera?
Oh, the hard copy? Yeah, let me grab it. Hopefully I have a hard copy.
Look at that. See, I love that. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Yes, it's on Amazon. And
Okay,
yeah,
I love
Unleashing
that.
Entrepreneurial Success, a guide to understanding entrepreneurship and building a professional network.
Definitely share that in the chat real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna ping it real quick live so people can go to it.
So am I just sharing the name of it?
No, share the link of the book. Share the name of it, and then there's another chat, another text. Put the link too. So
Okay. Sounds
copy.
good.
All right. And I put it. You're here, viewers. She has a book on Amazon. I'm about to ping the link so you guys can go grab that book right now. Also, too, I'm gonna send you my link so you can look at my books. I released three
Oh,
in the same time. It's called "A Good Heart Don't Pay Bills," "The Power of the Pivot," and the Janitor.
oh, lovely.
Yeah, but
Yeah, please share that as well.
yes. All right, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
And then I'll send the link as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's really a phenomenal guide to understanding entrepreneurship because entrepreneurship is not easy. It's like a roller coaster. And sometimes, it was so funny on social media. There was somebody that said that entrepreneurship is very spiritual because, if you don't see let's say you don't have a customer for like a week or a few days, like it can really break you. Like you can go, it makes you feel, you could be depressed. You could just wonder like there's so many different feelings and emotions that come with being an entrepreneur. And so, people have to understand that there's going to be times when it's just not, what you expect it to be, but it's really about just, going hard, having that go for it attitude. And like you said earlier, even if it's one person that sees you, or you build that relation, that customer that you've retained, it still helps to know that you're still on the right track and that your plan is to still build your business regardless,
Right.
if you feel like there's nothing happening within a week, so it's yeah.
I love the title of your book too. So we definitely got to talk about that. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So I just put out the book, The Power of the Pivot, and it just tells about how to understand when the boat is sinking, how to pivot, what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
love that. I
yeah.
love that.
You just put it in the chat. Okay, let me see.
Yeah, and then I'll get the link as well.
There it is. Unleashing Entrepreneur Success, a guide to understanding and building a professional network. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy is, so we're gonna talk some doctoral talk because I'll be done in December. But the books I put out on my own business, I am referencing, citing them in my dissertation.
Oh, I love that.
My
I,
own book.
I love that. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so let me share the link with you. Inbox, my Amazon link.
Okay.
So when are you traveling next again? You said you're going to London, right?
I leave in 3 days to go to DC to speak at a conference, and then next week I go to London.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And then I'll be back for the 21st for the diaspora thing.
Okay, good.
We gotta wear green and black.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, green and black. I'll be
You
there.
do have to, yeah, green and black for sure. And I think that's a really pretty combination of colors.
Yes,
What do you think?
I love I have a leather green top I'm gonna wear. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that sounds like it's gonna be amazing.
yeah, definitely. I look forward to
Okay,
it.
yeah. All right, so let me put the link in the chat.
Okay. Okay, I got it. So
Yeah.
let me see what the link I got it. All right. So um tell me what the future looks like for you.
Hey, so I'm on this kingdom assignment, right? This mission of impacting and empowering a million girls of color. I know it's a very, ambitious number, but anything is possible with God. And hey, it's doors are opening, and it's just really about that global frequency and making an impact. And so, I'm just really trusting God with this 2026 empowerment tour, and the 2025 tour was phenomenal. Lots of lives were impacted, and changing the trajectory of how people, well, not people, but how these young girls like see life. And I didn't have a mentor when I was young, right? And I wish I did, but I had school. At school you pretty much just get the academics, but you don't have somebody that pours into you and can mentor you and encourage you. And so to be able to do that now on a large scale and impacting these girls all over is the goal for from now going forward until God says, hey, you're going to have another purpose. But I'm certain that this is the kingdom assignment that he's put me on. And it's just been great. And, I give him all the praise and glory for every door that he's opened, every life that I've impacted. And, for me, it's not really about remembering my name, but it's just knowing that, hey, there was a lady that came and poured into me and reminded me of my worth, and spent so much time, making sure she mentored me and was there for me. And, so that's what I'm really worried and care more about. It's not about, hey, Dr. Teresa. It's like, this lady really poured into me. And of course, some of them will remember my name. I'm just saying, like, that's not the big picture here. The big picture is the impact, right? And so what um that's what the goal is going forward,
I
making an
love it.
impact.
And you guys heard it first. Dr. Teresa. I told you we was gonna have an awesome show. I told you how she, explained where she came from and where she is at now. And I tell you guys all the time, I don't put anybody bring nobody to my table. I built my own table, the motivators table, that I'm not inspired by. I've been inspired by her for almost 2 years. I met her 2 years, yeah, about 2 years ago, and I'm blessed to even call her a friend. Thank you for just coming on my platform and shining that bright light for girls and girls of color that look like you. So it's very important
Yes.
for us to continue to push that needle and that goalpost because women need to see you. Period. Point blank. Women of color, y'all have no excuse. This is what it is. This is what she's doing. Get in here, understand what she's doing, understand who she is, and get to know her. Drop your social media so they can follow you real quick. Let
Okay,
us know.
yeah.
Just tell it. Just
I'm
shout us
gonna
out. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll drop my website.
yeah,
A lot
yeah,
of my information is on there.
yeah.
Um, how to contact me, my social media pages. So it's teresaisabel.com. I'm gonna drop that in there now.
Okay, we got
And
it.
then Facebook, if you're on Facebook, I just go by Dr. Teresa Isabel.
Got you.
Yeah. And then on IG, I am, and then underscore.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Show it on stream. All right. Guys, hey, y'all got all her information. Please hit her up. Please let her know that you guys came from the motivators table. She will have your answers for you. I guarantee you. And if she can't have, she'll go find them. But I appreciate you for just coming on my platform. But this is the area where, you know what I'm saying, I do my thing. So this is where I pour into you right here. So I want you to hold your hand up. Blank, just to hold your hand up. And it's a cup. So you got to Peter Pan it with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pour out the cup. Pour whatever that's in that cup. Pour it out. Pour it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Now hold it up. And now I'm gonna pour into you and tell you, hey, Dr. Teresa, Dr. Hernandez, I am so proud of you. I'm glad to call you friend. I appreciate you. We love you here at the Motivators table. Don't stop. Where do the motivators and healers go to go get motivated, get healed? They come right here. When you're done here, you run through that brick wall. You're amazing. Do not never let nobody tell you that you're not, as a mother, as a daughter, as a friend, as a speaker, as a global traveler speaker. You are amazing, and I cannot wait to work with you. Thank you for believing in me. I'm always believe in you. I'm always be your cheerleader. I don't want anything. I want you to be great. Go be great and take the bull by the horns. You understand me? I see what you're doing, and when you feel weak, you can text me or pull up a message or hit me up on social media, and I tap back in with you. I promise you, we love you over here. Thank you for coming on my platform.
So
And
much.
yes, thank you for gracing season 5 of the Motivators Table. And sorry for taking so long. We appreciate it.
It's fine. Thank you for the love, pouring it right back to you and everything thank you for everything that you're doing. The work that you're doing out there, impacting lives as well and pouring into the youths. We see you, we love you. So thank you. And let's just continue this journey of impacting lives.
Definitely, definitely. And thank you for coming on the Motivators Table. Motivators, I told you already, I'm happy that we had this conversation. Season 5. You don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that. It's going to drop soon on Spotify and Apple. And I appreciate you guys. Motivators, mount up. Boom.